Okay, this is part 2 on some ideas of how to set up your summary book. So this is the summary book cover. Now this is the contents page that I've set up. Here I've got it divided into 4 sections. Number and algebra, like I said, measurement and geometry, stats, and then working mathematically or problem solving. They're ones that won't fit neatly into another section. So how to solve problems, which is very necessary in maths. Now what I'm going to do, there's a couple of ways you can do this. I'm going to colour code each of the sections. And what I could do, because you're not allowed to have tabs or anything like that, I could do is actually cut the corners, like you sometimes do in the school diary. Cut the corners off for each section. What I'm going to do though, I'm going to start number and algebra. I'm going to set that out as a colour code with yellow. So I'll colour this yellow and I'll come back when it's done. All right, I've colour-coded that bit yellow, so that section of my summary book will be for number and algebra. And what I'll just do here is put a yellow code through that. So I have that and I have that. This allows me to then choose another colour. My next section, of course, is going to be measurement and geometry. So I'm going to set that up as orange. Give myself an orange tint along there. So it'll look like this. I'll put some orange along there, and again I'll come back to you when I've done that. So here I am, I've done this bit in orange, as you can see. It's a slightly smaller section, but it's not as large in any textbook as number and algebra are. So what I'll do here is I'll put an orange through that. So now I've got 2 of my sections done. What I'm going to do is the other 2 sections. I'll do one in blue and one in green. And then I'll do those and I'll come back and show them to you. So here I've done my next 2 sections. You can see that the whole book is then colour-coded and I can get to the section that I want. What I'll do now is the green is for stats. So I'll press that one across there. And then the blue is going to be for problem solving. So I'll leave that one across there. And what I do is go into each section, number and algebra. I'll put there number and algebra, and I'll just make a heading here for number and algebra. Number and algebra. Now, in Year 8, that includes chapters 1, it's on basic number skills, chapter 2, chapter 3, positive and negative numbers, percentages and ratios, then algebra. So then algebra and then linear relationships, which is how to solve linear equations, linear relationships, which will then lead us into linear graphs. So what I would do then is to go through each of the chapters and any of the main ideas that you can see that you need to have, any of the main ideas, the key ideas that you need to have, which will be in blue on the books, I would take some of those ideas and then place them into here, write them into here. Now it's totally acceptable to photocopy should you want to, but remember again that you need to have it one side and it needs to be totally and completely glued in Stapling will be fine. You cannot have a fold out, and you cannot have a loose, and you cannot have a tab. What you can do here is, if you wanted to make it easier to go through, you could, like in a diary, you could cut these orange ones, the corners, back off. You could cut those off and then leave the green one and cut the blue one off. That way you can just use your finger and get through easily. That's another good idea. I've seen people do that, to just cut the corners, and that allows you, even if you cut the corners different sizes, it allows you to then go through. You could have a corner cut to here, then you could have another corner. You could have one corner cut to here, then another corner cut up to there, another corner cut up to there, then you don't have to have the last one cut off at all. So the first one here is a large corner, second one would be a smaller corner, and the third one will be a smaller corner again. So that's another idea. There are quite a few ideas that you need to do. So then you'd go through and come to the next section, which is going to be measurement and geometry. You would write that in here, measurement and geometry. Measurement and geometry. And you do that for the next section as well. You would go through. So I'll do that and I'll come back to you. So I've done that. I've just put a label on each of the sections. I come through here, stats and probability, and then my last section, which doesn't quite fit, working mathematically